Welcome back to digital class, and now we're looking at PSLE last minute revision set number E. And among some of these worksheets, I think set number E is one of my favorite worksheets because there are many interesting questions here for us to try this out. Okay, so now it's time for you to try to challenge yourself a bit. Again, let's try out all these questions out first before you watch this video. And of course, if you have tried all these things out, and you feel that you are confident, let's try to look at the answer also. Okay, let's look at the first question here. And this is from MGS paper 1 question 24. And here says that the figure is made up of a circle and a parallelogram. So as you can see, there's a circle, there's a parallelogram. Now, O is the center of the circle and angle QPS is 54 degree. Find angle PQR. Okay, so the first thing that we should kind of take note is PQR is here, and because this is a parallelogram, that's why we know that it's the same thing as here also. Alright, because this is a parallelogram. And what makes this question more interesting is because there's a circle involved here, and we know that because this is a circle, that's why the angle, the length here and here is the same, because both of these are radius. And because this is radius, I know the angle here and here will be the same. And with that, you also need to remember that this and this are parallel, right? And this is line. So can you see a Z shape here? Means that like this, like this, like this. Okay, and this is 54, right? Means that this part will also be what? 54. Means that, let me just erase this color, this highlight first. Means that here is actually 54 degree. And again, this is an isosceles triangle, right? If here 54, here also 54. Hey, then how can I find the angle here? Which is actually also here. 180 minus 54 minus 54. And yes, your answer basically is 72. And that's it. This is the final answer. Because if here is 72, here will also be 72. Yes, and that's it. We are done with this question. This is a question that tests out your knowledge about circle, about parallelogram, about isosceles triangle, and all these things. Okay, so a very nice question. So let's move on to our next question. And this is from Henry Park paper 1 question 25. Now, this question here says that PQRS is a straight line and the length PS, PR are in the ratio of 3 to 2. Let's just try to list down here because maybe, okay, let me write here first. PS to PR is 3 to 2. Okay, PS, PR, 3 to 2. And the length of PR to QS, PR already written here, to QS is 6 to 5. So, let's just try to make it the same first. This is a repeated identity concept. So I times 3, I times 3. So this is 9 to 6 to 5. Okay, so 9 to 6 to 5. So I know that P to S here to here supposed to be 9. P to R, I should say P to R means here to here is 6. And means that I obviously know that here to here is actually what? 9 minus 6 is 3, right? So here's 3. Okay. Now Q to S is 5. Means that here to here is 5. If here is 3, here is 5, no, then here I know is 2 lor. Correct. And if here to here is 6, P to R is 6 lah. Q to R is 2. Then P to Q is 4. Then I actually kind of find out everything already, right? Question. What's the ratio of the length PQ to RS? PQ means 4. RS means what? 3. Then 4 to 3. Done already. Okay, I think it's kind of simple, right? It's just that it's a very simple and normal question, but when it puts in this way, if some of you that's not really well versed in this kind of question, then it will be slightly challenging. But anyway, I think it's quite good. Let's move on to our next question. MGS paper 1 question 28. Yeah, this is actually a question there. I kind of like it a lot. So here's that in the figure below, QRUV and PRST are rectangles. So as you can see, QRUV, a rectangle here, and PRST, another rectangle here. U is the midpoint of PT. So U is the midpoint of PT. So basically means that this is actually half lah. Okay? RS 16 cm means that if half means here is 8 cm lor. Here also 8 cm. And here 6 cm means here also 6 cm. And UR here is 10 cm. Okay? Find the length of QR. QR means here. Okay? Now, if you look carefully, QR means this part. Let me just highlight this part. This part. Okay? And this part actually is the same thing as this part, right? Because it's a rectangle. And what I actually like about this question is that you actually can think this question in a different way, that can I find out what is the area of the triangle here? I mean, I can, right? Very simple. What I can do is 6, 8, right? So 6 times 8, I know is what? Half times 6 times 8, I know is 24. Correct? Because that is how this works, right? 6 times 8, 48 divided by 2, 24. But now I'm looking for the length here. When I'm given the length here is 10 cm. Then you should notice one thing also. Other than calculating the area of this triangle using here times here, I actually also can do like this. Here times here. Huh? Teacher, what do you mean? Because this also is base times height. It forms a 90 degree here. Correct? Means that, example, I name this line, example as A lah, okay? Means that half times 10 times A should give you 24 also. And you can just find out 5 and 5A is equal to 24. So A is actually 24 divided by 5. And if you press on your calculator, you should get A is actually equal to 4.8. Yes, and that basically means that this line actually is 4.8 cm. Yes, and yes, you are done for this question. Kind of interesting, and I think this is quite a nice question also. Basically, it's just reminding you about the properties of triangle, and there are two ways, just a simple right angle triangle question. You can calculate here times half, or either here times half. That should give you the same area of triangle, because both are actually 90 degrees. Okay, yeah, basically this question I think is challenging you about this knowledge. Let's move on to our next question. Okay, this question is from CHS paper 2, question number 8. A baker sold some boxes of tarts and cookies. Each box of tarts cost $3.10 and each box of cookies cost $5.50. Okay, the tarts $3.10, cookies $5.50. The baker sold twice as many boxes of tarts as cookies, and he earned a total of 1439.10. 0.10. How many boxes of tarts did he sell? So I mean, this is a very typical number and value concept. So I think nothing tricky here, but it's all what you have learned. So, and as I've suggested, always try to put the table up: number, value, total. Okay, so let's talk about the number first. I know that the question here says what? So twice tarts as cookies. So I know here is 2 unit, I know here is 1 unit. Next, what's the value of tarts? The tarts is $3.10. So here is $3.10. And the value of cookies is $5.50. So here is $5.50. So the total cost here should be $6.20 and here $5.50. And if you add this up together, it's supposed to give you $6.20 plus $5.50, it's supposed to give you $11.70, right? And the question says what? he earned a total of 1439.10. This and this are referring to the same thing, right? That's why I know that. Now what am I supposed to do is to make it the same. 1170U is equal to 1439.10. So just press on your calculator. 1U is equal to 1439.10 divide by 11.70 and you should get 123. And if 1 unit is 123, question, how many tarts did he sell? Tarts means how many unit? 2 unit. So if 1 unit is 123, 2 unit is 2, 4, 6. And you are done for this question as well. Okay? Okay, kind of simple and easy. And let's move on to our next question. And next question is from paper 2, question 16. And this is actually a 5 marks question. Okay, I kind of like this question a bit. So let me just turn on the light. Okay, let's look at this question together. Let me just draw a model for this question. I think it's better. Okay, Chloe spent 5 out of 8 of her money on 3 identical books and 7 identical files. Let me just draw a model here. Okay. Let me cut into 8 parts. 1, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Okay. Chloe spent 5 out of 8 of her money. So 5. Okay, I think I'm drawing it right. On 3 books and 7 files. Okay. And the cost of each book was 3 times the cost of each file. Now, means that the price here will be actually 3 times. Means that the cost here will be 9, maybe I just put C, 9 cost. And here will be 7C. Means that 3 times, right? So 3. If one file is 1C, then one book will be 3C. That's why 3 times 3, 9C. Means add together is actually 16C. Okay? Let's continue the question. She bought some more files with 5 out of 6 of the remaining money. Here says that 6 is remaining money, right? But here only 3. So means what? Means I need to cut lor. I need to cut into 6. Cut into 6. But if I cut, I need to cut the rest also. Okay? It's raining soon. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this 5 is what she bought what? More files. Do I know how many files? I don't know how many files. Okay? And of course, I know that it will be the same C lah. Okay? Here and here will be the same. Let's continue with her remaining money. And she had $4 left. Means that this is what I left. And I know it's $4. Then something interesting you found out, right? If 1 unit is $4, 1 unit is $4. Then can you tell me here how many dollar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, right? So 10 unit is what? $40. So here is $40. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means how many dollar? 5 unit means what? $20. So $20. And what I can find out here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically this 16C here, let me just highlight here, actually is equivalent to $40. So it means that 16C is $40. Then now the question is asking what? How much did Chloe spend on files? Files means how many C? 7C. Means 40 divided by 16 times 7. And that is how many? How much? 17.5. Means that, let me just highlight very, very fast. We are ending this question. Means that these 7 files with 7C actually cost 17.5. And I know that this remaining 5 unit, I buy some files, right? And I know, actually I know it's $20 already. So means that what I need to do the last step, is to use 17.5 plus 20. Means that the total amount that she spent on files is actually 37.50. And yes, that's it, we are done. We didn't even find the files here, but it's fine because we already found the answer. Okay, so I think it's kind of simple, this question, although it's 5 marks, but you need to think in a more organized way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you just write this down if you feel like this way maybe is a better way to try it out. Okay, and of course, if you have other ways to do it, and that is totally fine as well. Okay, let's move on to our last question for this worksheet. And this is from Henry Park, paper 2, question 70. And yeah. Okay, so let's look at this question. The first 4 figures of a pattern are shown below. As you can see, the first one, second, third, and fourth. And this table shows the white and gray circle used for the first figure. So start with gray, 1, then 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, basically it's like adding round and round at the outside part. And they're asking, what is figure 5 here? What is it for the gray circle? I think if I were to continue to draw, so 1, 2, 3, 4, then it will be 5 here, right? So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see here is 2, 3, 4, here will be 5. Using this as a starting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the same thing, 2, here is 3, here is 4. And using this starting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the same thing, 2, 3, 4, here will be 5, right? So using this as starting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 additional dots that I have drawn, and it's adding back on the 10 gray circles that I previously have. So I have 27 in total. Okay, so yeah, basically here I added in 17 to the previous 10. So I have 27. Okay, so I think it's kind of simple. Let's move on. Part A done. Part B. How many white and gray circles are there all together in figure 28? White and gray means I want to find the total, right? So the total here will be 0 plus 1, 1. 5 plus 1, 6. 5 plus 10, 15. 18 plus 10, 28. 18 plus 27, that is 45. Now, I need to find white and gray when this is figure 28. What is here? Now, perhaps some of the students, you will definitely like to do something like this, like, oh, 1 plus 5, oh yeah, 1 plus 5 is 6. And 6 plus 9 is 15, something like this, right? That's not what I recommend. I don't really recommend you do that, except or unless you don't notice it's a pattern of arithmetic sequence, like what I have taught you in class, and also the triangular number sequence. Other than that, I don't recommend you to go and look for this, but rather I will always suggest you to refer back to the figure number. Means that how this total relates back to this figure number. I repeat, rather than having you go and plus 5, plus 9, then plus something like this to find out what is the number, I would actually rather to have you go and link what is the number here and here. Means that how the total here is connected to this figure number. So example, 6, how to become 6? Perhaps 2 times 3. 15, 3 times what? 3 times 5. 28 times what? Times 7. 45 times what? Times 9. But even though you have did something like this to try to make it clearer, but 3, 5, 7, 9, I still couldn't guess what should I times here, right? This is something that's a bit tricky now, that what we can do to solve. When I threw this question, I was like thinking for a short while, then I noticed something interesting is that, can you see this 3, 5, 7, 9 also can be divided into, this 3 is what? This 3 is actually 1 plus 2, right? Correct? This 5 is actually what? 2 plus 3, right? This 7 is actually what? 3 plus 4, right? And if you look carefully, this 1 is actually from here, right? Means let me just draw here. This 1 is actually here. This 2 is actually here. This 2 is actually here. This 3 is actually here. This 3 is actually here. This 4 is actually here. Means that, like example, 9 is 4 plus 5, right? Means 4 is a previous number, 5 is a current number. Means that what I'm trying to times here is actually what? A number that is less than this, example 27. Can you see, right? 5 is 4, right? Means 27. And plus with another number that is actually what? Your own self, 28 here. Once I do that, I will able to find what is my total number here. So, in simple, let me look at for B. 28 times 27 plus 28. 27 plus 28 gives you what? Gives you 55. So 28 times 55 gives you what? And the answer is 1540. That's it. You are done for this question. Interesting, right? This is basically a pattern question. Like, you need to look for a certain patterns that is actually happening inside there to able to find out what is the answer. Okay. Perhaps there are many ways to look for the answer, and this is just the way that I spotted when I'm doing this question. Yeah, a very funny way, maybe. Yeah, but I think it's kind of short if you notice how to do it. Okay. Anyway, and that's all for this paper, and I hope that you're able to, well, it's raining, okay, but I hope you learned something. Okay, that's all from me today. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.